Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justice, and today we're going to be reviewing Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Now, as the title of this video suggests, this film, yes, is a horror movie, but it is also 100% a romance in disguise. A dated idea of romance, but a romance nonetheless. I got the idea for this video because a couple nights ago, I decided to do a double feature of Alfred Hitchcock movies with my boyfriend who hasn't seen any of them before, and we watched this one and Psycho, and oddly enough, this one ended up being his favorite out of the two, which caught me off guard because Psycho is Psycho, but like, I rest my case. This movie hasn't aged the best with some of its special effects, but there are still so many iconic scenes throughout the entire film that have aged perfectly. A few of those, to name off some, would be like the birds gathering outside the schoolhouse while the school kids sing in unison, which goes on for so long, but is so effective as you have Tippi Hedren lighting up a cigarette and not even noticing the flock of birds that are starting to form on the jungle gym. Then there's even another scene where you have this guy with his eyes pecked out after an attack by the birds. And sidebar, I always forget older films actually had moments that are this gory. It caught me completely off guard, even though I've seen this before. Don't hate. And of course, Tippi Hedren trapped in that phone booth as the birds go feral, smashing into the glass, is easily one of the most remembered scenes in the entire film. Some of the effects in this movie haven't exactly aged the best, but that's completely okay because it doesn't take away from the charm of this movie. This is a very, very well made movie. I do have to admit, the scene where you see the school children fleeing the school while the birds are ravenously trying to peck at them, or rather, I should say, ravenously trying to peck at them. That whole scene elicited quite a chuckle from me because, for one, those kids were told to leave in a single line and be quiet, and then the moment they go out those doors, it's just immediate screaming. And for two, the birds don't even look like they're really attacking the children as they're running around. They kind of just look like they're like hanging out on their shoulder, rubbing their beaks into like their heads. So like, I don't know, like, just something about it cracked me up, man.
What's the emergency?
Birds.
I'm sorry, did you just kind of gently whisper the word birds? What does that mean?
It means birds. The floppy things. They're trying to kill everybody.
I mentioned at the beginning of the video though, this isn't the stuff I want to talk about in this review. What I really wanted to get out there and talk about with you guys is the completely different movie this is for like the first half before it actually jumps into a horror movie. Even when I was showing this to my boyfriend, like I mentioned, we were watching it and I would say we were probably like half an hour into it, and my boyfriend made the comment of like, wait, this is a horror movie? Because like, it doesn't feel like a horror movie for the first half. It is not, I would say, even. The entire first act of this movie follows Melanie Daniels and Mitch Brenner, and let me tell you that in today's day and age, Melanie would be considered a stalker, and I say that with my complete chest. When she meets Mitch in a bird store, she pretends to be a saleswoman while he's looking for 2 lovebirds for his sister's birthday. From there, Melanie goes full private investigator. And to throw it in here, because I forgot to mention it somehow, but Mitch already knew who Melanie was. He started to toy with her. He actually saw her in a courtroom where she was on trial for one of her pranks gone wrong that involved a broken plate glass window, which I'm just convinced that it is canon that Melanie is in some way, shape, or form connected with that iconic kill from The Omen. I rest my case. But what follows next is Melanie getting the lovebirds for Mitch since he couldn't get them, because that's her prank by doing a favor for him. Like, okay. This woman memorizes his license plate, tracks down where he lives, finds out he's out of town, figures out his hometown, drives there, rents a boat, paddles across a bay to his house, unannounced, and sneaks into said house to drop off the birds for his sister, who mind you, she has never actually met, and she didn't know Mitch or the sister existed until the previous day. All this is played as very adorable, flirty, or even endearing. In today's day and age, like, swipe left on that shit, do not pass go, we are done, straight to jail.
Guilty.
Or perhaps I'm missing the plot myself because all those grown-up Tumblr girlies all kind of ended up romanticizing Joe Goldberg, so maybe what she did would end up flying today.
You're too drunk to be alone. What if some sicko had followed you down here?
It's this slow burn flirtation between our two leads, though, that takes up the first act of this film, the first half of it even. And there are only very few scenes in between in the mix that actually shows the bird attacks. When things do finally get chaotic though, and the birds make their grand appearance, this is when Melanie truly shines as a final girl before final girls were even a thing. She is immediately there to console Mitch's emotionally unavailable mother. She is quick to save Kathy, his sister. She even goes to the schoolhouse and warns all of the school children to help them flee the building before an onslaught of birds could crash into it. With all of that info in mind, riddle me this. At the end of the film, they board themselves up inside of Mitch's childhood home. Instead of just leaving the area and going back to San Francisco, it's apparently a better idea to stay. Like, I don't know what their reasoning was behind that, but we'll move on from that. That's not what we're upset about here. While they're in this house, Melanie has this bold idea after she goes upstairs and she hears birds thrashing around in a room, and very obviously knows there are birds in said room. Why does this woman just walk into that room and then act all surprised that she gets attacked and isn't able to leave said room? It honestly felt like the movie realized that this woman was just too capable for her own good, and she needed Mitch to be able to come in and save the day to show her what a true man really is. Can't have your male character not be the hero. This is a 60s movie after all. She essentially regressed into Barbara from Night of the Living Dead, the snarky can-do queen that we've seen this entire movie, now completely absent from the film. From this point on in the film, Melanie is reduced to this, like, catatonic, dazed, and delirious state. She's staring blankly, screaming occasionally, and being shuffled into the backseat of the car by Mitch, who drives her, his mom, and his sister out of town, the birds having overtaken the whole area. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, you might be questioning whether or not I actually did like this movie, because I have been poking a lot of fun at it. And yes, I did, in fact, like this movie. I love this movie. I remember watching it on Sci-Fi as a kid. I think it's kind of funny to admit now that back in the day, I remember seeing the ending of her upstairs, and it actually did scare me as a kid, but now when I see it today, it's more comical than anything else, honestly. Is this film actually scary though in today's day and age? Like, I'd say not really. There is some scenes in it that I do think have stood the test of time, but they are more eerie than anything else, and I wouldn't classify them as being scary per se. Most of the enjoyment I get out of watching older horror films is the actual charm. All of the charm that I get out of these older horror films is from just seeing how far filmmaking has come to today's standards. Whether it be the acting, the way that they were able to do different effects back then, just seeing the gender roles and like societal roles, or the different tropes before they were tropes in these said movies. Like, I just find it all very charming. It's something that makes me enjoy coming back to these movies again and again and again, because they are true classics. Even if some of it has become laughable in today's day and age, they are good movies still. So really don't let the release date scare you away from this movie. It is a certified classic for a reason. Oh, and I forgot to mention this in the video too. Like, there is a Birds Barbie. I didn't know where to include that in here. There wasn't really a spot that I felt like it would flow with well, and then I just forgot to mention it altogether. But they literally made a Melanie Daniels Birds Barbie getting attacked by birds and all. If it wasn't so expensive, I would own that. It would be on my shelf, and I have no problem admitting that. But yeah, I thought you guys should know that that exists too. Apparently, even Fox News released a clip about this Barbie, and surprisingly enough, this is like the one and only time I feel like Fox News wasn't being complete asshats.
You may be thinking, this is slightly scary for a child's toy, but apparently it is a hot item.
So I'm sure that I'm not the only person that decided that this movie is kind of a rom-com for like the first hour of it. I've heard others talk about it before too, but you guys should let me know what you all think of The Birds, and you should leave a comment down below. And if you guys have any other ideas for future films that you want me to cover, TV shows, let me know that too, right down in those comments. I cover everything and anything horror on this channel. And if you're new here and you haven't seen my videos before, hi, I'm Justice, and if you want more videos just like this, then I would love if you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you around here. But anyways, that wraps up this video, and I really hope to see you guys on the next one. Take care.